Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another rousing edition of the BREADren Podcast. For the segment we like to call Cocktail Convos. We like to take some time to sit down and have casual conversations with success vets. I'm AJ Woodson, and today proud to bring into the conversation my Tuskegee brother, Mr. Drew Sanders of the Aware brand, which is a message brand that uses apparel to highlight the importance of self-awareness, self-love, and how having those two qualities can change our lives. We're going to definitely get into what that all means and all of that. But like I said, it's a casual conversation, cocktail combos. So first, I want to start off by saying, my brother, it is a pleasure to take some time to sit down and chat with you and to just pick your brain a little bit. It's good to see you and you're doing well.
Yeah, first and foremost, man, I just want to say thank you for having me on your platform, man. You know, we go way back 16 years, man. So, it's just, it's great to see how, we've matured over the years and that we create our own platforms and we can put each other on. So I appreciate the opportunity, brother. Thank you, man.
Most definitely. Like I told you, Till. I said my people that I personally know are up first in the lineup, and then we'll branch out to to the other the influencers and stuff as they call it. But I want my people to be front and center. You know what I'm saying first. But yeah, we go way back. It's crazy. It's crazy to think like it's literally been like 15 years since we've been in college, man. But that foundation that we had at Tuskegee, man, it's. I tell people all the time, it's like people say it's something in the water. It's something at Tuskegee that just prepared us and a lot of us to just branch out and do things that are not of the norm in a sense, where it's like it's non-traditional. Whereas even though we know a lot of people that just went straight to corporate, did great at corporate, still doing great at corporate, but we also know a lot of people that have literally taken that leap and branched out and done their own things. And you're one of those people where you created something that is more than just like a clothing line. It's it like you said, it's a message brand. So kind of explain when you say a message brand, what sets it apart from just a brand. The all of the brands you see that's popping up in Macy's, it's just like, oh, I got Aware, but Aware is like, what's the messaging behind it?
Oh man, the messaging. I mean, like we say, man, we like to say that it's where streetwear and self-awareness meets. And when we messaging, everything from our content to our apparel is gonna have some message that goes back to self-love, self-awareness. And I think as a community and with my partner and I, we thought as a community, we need this more than ever right now. When we dropped it, we started in 2017, just started printing up some shirts and some hats and, selling it for the low, giving it to our friends and family. And then we saw that people actually was, biting onto the message and the brand. And so we decided to take it up a whole nother level and really dig deep into, the way we brand ourselves, our designs, just the overall package, and really, competing with the industry standard. That's something that we always, communicate with. So, we're a Black-owned brand. We pushing, self-awareness, self-love, love into the community, and we're giving you a high-quality, product for you to rock it and be fashionable with it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, definitely. And one of the other beautiful parts, I know your actual business partner didn't go to Tuskegee, but the guy behind a lot of the designing, Omar, is another Tuskegee alum, correct?
Yes, sir. So he's our lead designer. Omar Disney is our lead designer on the team, man, and he joined the tribe alongside with me and Richard Faison, who's a childhood friend of mine. He's the other co-founder. So. Yeah, man. Omar, me and Omar, we've been working for so long, man. Back to the music days when we were, making music. Right. He was a producer and I was managing him, and then he turned around and he was our graphic designer. So he was doing all of our, covers and for our singles or albums that we were dropping. So. Yeah, man. So it's good to work with a brother, not only for that long, but also someone who we went to school with, man. So, we keeping that legacy alive, and that tradition alive for sure.
Most definitely. So the Aware brand, when you and your friend Richard, when y'all like, what did it? How did it come about? Was it just one of those things where it's like y'all knew at some point y'all wanted to go into business together,
Man.
didn't know what it was gonna be, or how did it birth
Yo, it's
itself?
crazy. You asked that, AJ, because I around the time of like Trayvon Martin and Philando Castile, and the names can go on and on, like good brothers and sisters that really just got murdered in front of us. You know what I'm saying, on national television, worldwide broadcast, like, and there's people that look just like me and you, and I was so conflicted and like just a little overwhelmed with feelings on how I should feel about all this, because at this point I was like, okay, look, it's war. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have really declared war against us. You know what I'm saying? It's always been going on, right? But I think in our adult life, it's like the first time we really felt it. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I was like, I'm not the big person to, I'm not the person that's gonna go in the streets and march all day. I'm not gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying? I will, but to be honest with you, there's other ways we can fight this, right? And my way of doing that was like, you know what? How about we create a message? So I was thinking on it, and then I woke up out of my sleep like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and Aware came to my mind, and I think it came to my mind because I was reading Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra, and he's big about self-awareness and all of that. So. So Aware came to my mind. So that next morning, I texted my boy, Rich. I was like, bruh, Aware, sleep on it, think about it. But look, man, I think this is for you, because at the time, I'm already grooving with R&B and tap. So I said, bro, this is something. I said, dog, this is me wanting to bring you something. God told me to talk to you about this, man, this brand. So let's partner with it. Because we never thought about like partnering with each other. We never thought about doing business with each other. That, we childhood friends. We know each other since we was 8 years old. But it actually makes sense because we actually know each other, and we can have those tough conversations where it's not awkward. You know what I'm saying? And really, get through a lot of other things. But yeah, man. So we thought that this is our way of activism, man. How can we be active for the community, but not really like in the streets, but so our 3 pillars and the way we want to be in the streets and making some noise is through empowering, educating, and enlightening. So you'll see like programs that we'll produce. We'll have interviews talking to different doctors or different thought leaders, that can educate our consumer and audience base about, self-awareness or anything around that. We host events in the community. And I think so it's just a lot of different things that we do to really empower and like I said, educate. So it's more than just a clothing line. It's a movement. It's a lifestyle. Yeah.
True. And I like the name Aware, just because, like you said, it's a climate that's going on, and woke is like severely overused. So Aware is like the perfect way of saying it, and it doesn't give that same patient where it's like everybody keeps saying woke, and it's like, stop saying that. Do we have another way of saying it? And I like the way Aware is kind of like higher level of woke, where it's like, so like you say, self-awareness, awareness of yourself, love, self-love. I just like the all-encompassing feeling and connotation behind the word aware. So, I appreciate you all for coming up with something that has a meaning behind it. It's not just another clothing brand to just put out there. And you've always been, a versatile person. You've been a great curator of multiple things, and this is from my personal experience, me knowing you personally. So seeing the growth of Aware and, the trajectory of it is beautiful to see, just because I know what a great curator you are. Like you said, you were doing great things with R&B Untapped, and that is something that we can talk about for a little bit, because that was something that was needed in a lot of people's opinions, especially people who are like, everything was pushing and catered towards, I don't even say rap no more. It was like just straight trap. Everything had to be
trap music.
And it's like even the quote unquote singers was like singing trap music. So it's like, where are the actual R&B singers, songwriters who are singing about things that are not dangerous. And you did a wonderful job, doing, because I don't know if it's it got to be coming back at some point. I know people
Oh,
are
it is.
probably pressuring you. Yeah, people have got to be pressuring you like, yo, all right, stop playing. We need a virtual one or something. Even if Convo just stop this, we need a virtual. But R&B and chat, let's dive into it a little bit. Where you were spotlighting some amazing people, and a lot of people, were on the cusp and up and coming, in a sense, when they came R&B and tap, and then like months later, it's like you see them in bigger places and bigger spaces. So where did that come from, in terms of that journey?
Man, I mean, you know me, man. I've always been tapped into music, and I'm sorry if you hear any background noise in this, but
you good.
Yeah, dude, like music has always been a part of my life ever since I was a kid, man. Like ever since I was a young child. And R&B was one of those genres that really resonated with me growing up. Even though I listened to all types of hip hop, rock, alternative music, all types of vibes, but it was something about R&B music, man. I think I'm I'm really like that kind of guy. I'm really like a good R&B vibe type of guy, man. That's my energy, you know what I'm saying? So, and again, I apologize for all the background noise, guys.
No, you're good. Look. One thing I always remind people with this is real. I don't go in. I don't do too much editing on this. I like real raw conversations. I don't like all of that. I don't like that packaging and sound effects and stuff. Look, there's a combo. You here for what we're saying.
Nah, I got locked out the office just now and I'm waiting for somebody to let me back in. That's why he's in the stairwell, bro.
No, you good, man.
Yeah. So
like
I was saying, R&B and tap thing came around 2015. When it came to Atlanta, living in Atlanta, it's all like you were saying. It's a super trap driven, man. Super trap driven, and for me, that's not really my frequency or like that. So, I had some talented friends who are R&B artists. I found a dope ass spot in Atlanta. Midtown was BQE, right off of Edgewood, down on the east side of Atlanta, downtown right now. So, put them artists on, man, and it got rocking, man. We had a sold out show. The first show we did was sold out. So to me, it showed me that it was something that was needed for the city. And man, we just continued to do that for pretty much every month. And then we ended up doing three stages at South by Southwest 3 years in a row. We did the A3C Music Festival. We was the first R&B stage at the A3C Music Festival here in Atlanta. And man, we had so many artists, man, from Aaron Ray, who's on the Interscope, Mariba. I mean, we had Ari Lennox 5 years ago, on our platform before she was even like superstar Ari Lennox now. Man, the list can go on, man. We put over like 60 artists on our platform. So, I got burnt out though. I was doing a lot of the work and then, real life came around, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to start paying some bills and, brother, your boy had to get a real job, I had to get a corporate job, you know what I'm saying? I was running away from it for so long, but it happened at the right time, you know what I'm saying? Because, me going corporate, I worked with a lot of different marketing agencies, some out in New York, some here in Atlanta. And then I went in-house with a liquor supplier named Pernod Ricard, and I was an activation specialist there for 2.5 years, managing brands like Martell, Jameson, Avion for the Detroit market. So, like going in-house and like working with these different corporations definitely taught me structure and definitely taught me like how to really delegate the right way. A lot of us, we go into the entrepreneurship way and, and a lot of black people, I'm going to keep it 100. A lot of black people want to start a business, but don't know how to build the infrastructure of a business to keep them, around for 5 to 10 years. You know what I'm saying? A lot of businesses burn out because of the lack of infrastructure and systems that's implemented. So I think going in, working with these different companies, some of these top marketing agencies and some of these
top liquor suppliers, man. It really taught me a lot of different ways on how to structure the business. So now when we do come back with R&B and tap, because it is coming back, it's gonna be structured a different way, so I don't get burnt out, because I got burnt out doing it, man. Yeah.
I can understand. Like you hit a point where, as Black people, we do have we are very hesitant to delegate out things, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, because we treat our businesses like a baby, where it's like, I don't want nobody else touching this, because and it's kind of hindered on that old saying, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. So it's like, 100%. Okay, I want this whole thing done right, so I need to do this whole thing myself. And it's like, you got to, with my consulting and stuff with people, I always tell them, like, look, what's your strengths? Whatever you like. Look, I ain't good at math. I don't like accounting. I took accounting classes. Cool. I had to, because I had to graduate, but that ain't my wheelhouse. That ain't my ministry. I don't want no parts of that. So let me go get somebody that's strong in there. And like you said, you got to build your team. Me and DJ and Doc, we had an episode about that called Your Power Circle, where it's like you really got to surround yourself with people who are great at all things that you're weak at, and that's where you're gonna really find your strength set.
100%. 100%.
But I'm gonna touch on something real quick, briefly, if we can, but not too deep. But you everything that you learned, going corporate, with the activation stuff, I can see pieces of it, in what you're doing with the wear, and it's grown to a point to where it's even been imitated, in a sense, to where I think a comedian was wearing a shirt or some kind of way, an original design of you all's was copied and played off as somebody else's. Where it's like, people say, imitation is the best form of flattery, but at that point, was there a thing in your mind like, okay, people is knocking our designs right now. This is another level at this point.
Yeah, it was a bunch of feelings, man. To be honest with you, it was a multitude of feelings. I think one of the most gratifying things was like people are watching us, people are seeing us. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we have to handle our business. I had to reach out to the brand, send them a cease and desist letter, you know what I mean? And just really, shut that down, because it was obviously an original design. I mean, I wish that it was our shirt that the comedian was wearing, but he was wearing a knockoff, but that's his fault, you know what I mean? The stuff that he going through in his life right now, man, it probably wouldn't happen the way
that might have been a bullet you dodged right there.
But nah, man, it definitely, to your point though, it definitely shows that we are to the next level. And I don't think, a lot of people get caught up on Instagram numbers, you know what I mean? And, I think it's all about impact, you know what I'm saying? How you impact the people that's wearing your stuff, and what their impact is on, you know what I mean? A lot of impact for people wear our stuff, you know what I mean? A lot of, dope people. So the numbers may not represent on social media, but we really have a lot of power and a lot of influence. And it just was dope to see, that another brand was copying us, man. I mean, because that was just a throwaway design. That was a throwaway design, to be honest with you, AJ. That was like something we was like, yo, do we want to put this out? We was like, all right, let's just see what happens. And then we just put it out, like, because that was just some extra shit we just wanted to put out at that time because of COVID. But it worked, and then obviously it worked for somebody else too. But it happens all the time in design, man. A lot of top brands, they get knocked off all the time. It just happens, man. That's why you got to have your legal team together. That's why you got to have your paperwork together. That's why you got to have your trademarks, your copyrights, all of that, man. It was a nice little learning curve for us too, because we learned something that day. We weren't at the time, well, I'm not even gonna, but yeah, we learned something that day, especially about copyrights, man. It was a huge learning curve for us, man. So any young designers out there, who are, or any like clothing designers or apparel designers, whatever you create, it doesn't even have to be anything about apparel. Whatever you create, make sure that you copyright it. You know what I mean? Go, hit up that copyright.gov, man, and get your stuff copyrighted, man, and pay that $25 per design or $35 per design is going to be worth it in the long run, because you just never know what your art, how much value your art has. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you, take care, dot your I's and cross your T's. You know what I mean, when you're doing business.
Exactly. But one of the beautiful things that you kind of hit on was, the impact that you all had. Like you said, the numbers ain't, in the millions where it's like, hundreds of thousands of people is looking at you. But at the same time, y'all have impacted enough people to where they automatically knew off rip. It's like, nah, that's the original T. That's a knockoff. And they, they was killing them in the comments. It was like, no. It's
I'm
not
about to
there.
curse,
It's not
but I
there.
definitely,
So
yeah, they was killing them though. They was killing them. And big shout out to the tribe, man. Big shout out to the tribe because that's what we building, man. We're building a family of people who on the same journey as us. You know what I mean? We're all learning. We all learning more about ourselves. We all owning our power, and it's just good to see our tribe holding it down, man. It was going crazy on the comments. They was going nuts. So very excited about that, man. But well, there'll be another brand that's gonna try to knock our stuff off. So we're ready. We're ready for it.
I think that's the biggest takeaway is like you said, have your T's crossed and your I's dotted to when that does happen. You'll know that means okay, we at a different level, but you'll also be protected. But I think like you said, with the impact that it has, I want to talk a little bit about I'll call it a deal. And this, I attribute this as to you being the person that you are. Like you've always been a go-getter. Like I said, you've always been a curator. I always put you in the mind of like you were an A&R, but now it's like you're an A&R for like just the streets maybe, where it's like you're not just in the box of music. You're bringing the streets what they want in terms of apparel that brings in these different aspects of life where it's not just one thing or just one thing. It's like it's all encompassing of different things that everybody is, got going on.
I love that shit too. I love that. I'm gonna steal that one from you. I'm gonna go ahead and coin that.
Go ahead,
myself.
hey, go ahead, man. But you got your deal with Foot Locker, which for me was kind of mind blowing because I didn't even realize. Once I hear something, I do some research on it, and I didn't realize that Foot Lockers are like almost kind of in an essence independent. Even though it's a corporation, they're like kind of broken off where they, it's almost like a franchise, not in the traditional sense, because you are specifically in a Foot Locker in Detroit and one in Brooklyn, right?
No, Washington Heights. Washington Heights.
Washington Heights.
Yep.
Yeah, Washington Heights. So, how did that deal come about? Is this through the networking? Because you're a master networker, bro. Your Rolodex is really like, on those levels of, some people that we like look at like, oh, they know people. I know yours is in that realm too.
Yeah, it's up there, bro. It's up there. I need to really start monetizing this damn Rolodex, but it's happening right now in real time. So you know what I mean. But nah, man. Yes, man. It came through really just off of like going to Detroit, building the name for the brand. This photographer and well-known photographer out the city. Her name is BREADren White. Big shout out to her. She put on this fashion show called Out the Trunk. And her venue she was hosting the fashion show was at Foot Locker. So
Wow.
so we popped up during the day. She had like 4 other brands pop up too, maybe 5 other brands pop up, but everybody was at our table buying our stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody was getting love, but I ain't gonna lie. I feel like they was really gravitating towards our table. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then the recap video. So after that day, after that pop-up shop, I talked to the store manager or the marketing manager for that area, and I was like, man, what would it take for us to be in Foot Locker, man? Like for real. And I said, look at how our brand looks up in here. What would it take for us to be in here? And he was like, I don't know. We'll see. That was it. Like 2 weeks later, though, he texted me. He was like, yo, you still want to be in Foot Locker? And I was like, hell yeah. He's like, yo, the buyer in New York City saw your brand. He loves that shit. And he wants to talk to you guys and put it out in the store. So, yeah. So it just was just like, a closed mouth don't get fed. I think if I never would have asked that question, then the guy would have never rewarded me. You know what I'm saying? Or rewarded us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, so I think sometimes you just got to ask for what you want. At all times, ask for what you want, So it came like that,
True.
bro.
And it's as simple as asking. You know, it doesn't have to be this, you know, this complicated process where it's like sometimes it's just tell that right person saying, what I got to do to get this done. And that's it. You didn't have to go sit and write up a plan and come present it with PowerPoints. You just literally just like, yo, what it take? And you wait for the answer, man. I think that right there is one of the most inspiring portions of this right here to me. Where this man, you got to Foot Locker by asking. It was, you know, bro. I know there's other work. Like it took the work of, you know, putting on a great pop-up shop. You know, everything that built up to that moment. You know, having something worthy that somebody said, hey, I need you here, but all of that. But still, the essence of it came from you just simply asking. It's like you said, closed mouth don't get fed. I think that right there is inspiring, bro. That just I got to start just going around. Hey, look, I got to start just going around asking questions.
Yo, you know what's so funny?
I just got to start going asking. Bro.
Hey, nah, you saying so because I know Rich gonna probably listen to this episode, but Rich, man, my business partner, he was like, yo, he be like laughing, but he be like amazed by this shit too because he's like, yo, you really just be asking questions and these niggas be answering it. Like they answer the questions you ask. And he said, I need to ask more questions. Like it'd be like simple questions, but I think as you know, in nature, we just, you know, I guess sometimes we might be you know, little, you know, on eggshells because we may not get the answer that we want. But shit, sometimes we get the answer that we want if we ask. You know what I'm saying? So he just be laughing, he be clowning, he like, bro, I can't believe you asked it, but you got that shit to go through. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, man, for anybody, like you say, man, I that is inspiring, man, because the thing is this, AJ, man, we can really have the life we want, bro. You know what I'm saying? We really can have the life we want, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta, you know, ask and you shall receive, man. You know what I'm saying? And
that's the beauty, man. And I feel like, and I think the best part about all of this is, you know, I know people like you, I know people like G-Till, I know people like my homie Jewel. Like we all know a lot of people who are living what we used to probably consider like a dream life or a fantasy life, or not even like their life is just so amazing. Like your job is so cool. Like people are like, we don't, you know, we remove the blinders of like, you have to go get a regular 9-to-5 job, suit and tie, or either you're going to be doing some hard labor type work. But like, we know people that live exciting lives because of their jobs. We know people who live abroad. We know people who work remotely from Bali and, you know, that's their job. We know travel bloggers. We know people who own their own clothing brands who, you know, who travel to do activations. We know people who work for liquor. Like, it's no longer this fantasy. It's literally a reality, and we can literally touch people and communicate with people.
Right.
To it is, and I think that's why, like now that asking questions things is such an advantage that we have, because now we have people like I personally know you, so I'm not afraid to come to you and say, hey Drew, tell me what you know. And now I can do it. Whereas, you know, it was kind of like this old mindset of like there's the old guards, where it's like this intimidating older figure that you had to go to and it's like, please tell me your secrets of, you know, this better life. And it's like now it's because, you know, the way we were raised and interacting with each other, we all just kind of just open with information. It's like, yo, I'm gonna tell you, like, here, all I did was ask. It's like, oh, shit, is that easy? It's like, yeah. I mean, I think so. I've done it a couple of times. It's worked, and it's like, oh shit, okay, let me go try it. Now it works, and now it's like, hey, y'all, all you gotta do is ask. It's really that easy. You can, like, it's very possible, and I think, you know, that like to see success in people that you know is one of those things where it's like, I feel for people who hate. I feel for people who hate because I don't know what happened to them. Where the point where it's like, because every single time I see people that I know winning, I really feel like I need to go celebrate, even if I'm not with them. Like literally most of the time, and anybody that don't believe me can ask my wife. She'll just see me go in the kitchen. I'll just pour a shot and take a shot. She'll be like, "What?" Drew and Foot Locker, man. I gotta go take a shot for this man. I gotta go take a shot for this man. He's a Foot Locker, man. You know, like I can't fathom this kind of stuff for people. Yeah, and sometimes people can't fathom it for themselves. And it's like, you really know somebody who got clothes in Foot Locker? Yes. Like, my plan has been to go to Brooklyn to buy something just because I wanted to buy it out of a store instead of buying it from the website. Yeah. Because I just want that experience. because it's something that I've never personally experienced. Where I go into a store and buy something from somebody that I personally know, like that shifts cultures, man. That shifts cultures.
You went to class with this nigga. You graduated with him. You know what I'm saying? Like you traveled with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
like
me and you was in the same room with the man who was in charge of New Era, with the president of New Era. We've been in the same rooms with Gerard Murray, who started. His father started the Queens brand, and then they started School of Hard Knocks, and now his son got Legacy History Pride. So we've been in rooms with people together where it's weird when I think about it, where it's like you kind of look back on things and you see little seeds planted here and there throughout your life, people that you know, life times you're together with people, and you're like, wow. And when you see the everything that comes from it, you're like, dang. It's kind of weird when you see it, because you're like, I could have never pieced this puzzle together.
Right.
10 years ago, I wouldn't have pieced this together.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Now it's together, and now if you tell me something's gonna happen 10 years from now, I'm like, oh, of course,
right.
Of course. Like of course that's gonna happen. Like you tell me now, like, oh, we're gonna be an all Foot Locker. I'm like, of course, it's already in 2. All you gotta do is keep going.
Right.
That's easy.
Yeah, we was getting we was marinating then, we was getting seasoned then, you know what I'm saying? Like we was getting ready for, for the world. I mean, I think that's what's so amazing about, colleges and universities like a Tuskegee. Because I mean it's like little opportunities that come like about that New Era and that tradition joint that we went to, man. Like, we was invited. We was like the only HBCU probably there, representing, you know what I'm saying? And and that definitely left a lasting impression on me, just seeing, like, that was probably one of my first brand activations that I ever witnessed, you know what I'm saying, at the New Era flagship store, you know what I'm saying? And it was a whole brand activation. We probably didn't even know what that was then, you know what I mean? We just thinking this is a cool little,
We was just there. We were just there and relishing in the moment, and then now, like I always say, we say hindsight is 20/20. You look back on it, you're like, and I remember things like, I was having a conversation with the president of New Era at the time. Like, I'm, what was he, 19, 20? Talking to, a man who's running the only hat company in America. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
this is back when, this is back when New Era was just now, because that was the flagship store. Yeah, that was the flagship in Atlanta.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, it was big.
It's wild. Shout out to Ian Evans, man.
Oh yeah, definitely Ian put that in play.
I call Ian. I think I texted Ian the other day. I was like, man, you coming up on being like the new Black Godfather, because like that man. It's like you were like Clarence Avon type dude. It's like, I don't know that man, but he always be everywhere with like
yeah. He another cat that Rolodex is pretty long too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that speaks to the powers of networking and collaboration, and I see that's something that you do well, bro. Especially with R&B Untapped, you're collabing with brands, and now with the Wear brand, you're collabing with a lot of other brands, and just that cross marketing and cross promotion is especially for what you mentioned with the organic engagement that you get with people, and just speak to that real quick about the collaboration. What's like the quote unquote vetting process for people that you're doing collabs with? Because I'm pretty sure you're doing collabs with brands that you might not even personally know, but something about that brand is stuck out to either you or your business partner. And you're like, hey, we need to reach out to them.
Oh man, I mean, I look at brand partnerships as like any type of relationship, man. Do our visions align with each other? You know what I mean? Do our foundational value, is it the same? Because if not, then it's gonna be kind of hard to collaborate and partner on. You know what I mean? So, like, for instance, like collaborating with Foot Locker, it was a perfect opportunity, man, because they're all about, it's a lot. I didn't even know this prior to even getting in business with them. Is like they're really about self-awareness, and they're in their company, and they're all about culture and like pushing, and talking to teenagers. That's their primary demographic, 12 to 19. Like, that's what they want to focus on. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, but it really, the thing that stuck out to me was just like self-awareness. Like, that's what they talked about. And I'm like, damn, like, I didn't even know Foot Locker was even on this. But so,
right.
from the first start, bro, we gotta, our brands have to align with each other. And so, once we get past that, man, it's really just picking who really want to put a lot of energy into this collaboration too. That's another thing, you know what I mean? Because you can get a partnership with somebody and they just want to throw the logo on your thing and that's it, and don't want to post your stuff on social media, don't want to do anything. Right. They just was like, hey, we just want the awareness. So, man, I hope I'm answering your questions. Like, how do I go about, getting these partnerships, or what are the key things we look for in a partnership?
Oh no, you answered it, and you perfectly and simply put. It's like, look, you got to align with us. You got to be with what we're about, or else it's not a good match. And you also got to want to put in the work. I think that's as plain and simple as you can put it. Align with us.
Because even when we collaborated, we just did a pop-up shop with 2 other brands. Plural, who is the homie Chance brand, and my homie out of Detroit, Kingsley, with his God is Good, Healthy and Wealthy, God is Good. And it's a long line, but that's his brand. But his brand was all about being healthy and wealthy. God is Good, and lines what we doing in the Plural joint, Black-owned brand, and he's talking about, or actually his actual author. I'm sorry if Chance listen to us, but actual author. So being the writer of your own life. You know what I'm saying? And so, right. I mean, so it's just, if we're collaborating with other brands, clothing brands, or just any other brands that's starting up, it got to make sense on that level too. And, but we're open to collaborate with whoever, man. Me personally, I love collaborating. I think you really can't get to where you want to go unless you collaborate, cross marketing, like you said, utilizing other, each other's audience and demos, man, and just really cross promoting that way. I think that works. It works. It really works. Yeah, man. I love to collaborate, but like you say, man, we just got to be in alignment. That's it.
Almost definitely, because that's something that's another thing that I think bigger brands bit from smaller designers and creatives is because people underneath that level were always collaborating and networking and cross promoting. And now we see it on a massive scale with a lot of these larger brands where you got like Gucci and Supreme and everybody was Supreme and, getting, different small designers where like Nike is not, and there's a big thing going on now, obviously with Nike, Nike snatching designs from people, not even about the devil and the holy stuff they got going on now, but, snatching designs from people to where now Nike's a little bit more free with open portal. We got another alum from Tuskegee, Nick, that has a really good relationship with Nike apparently, where he's designing shoes and doing collabs that are like Nike approved. So we see that where these larger brands now are having to pay attention to the smaller brands and the actual creators because of what you said at the beginning is this organic movement. It's like micro influencers, and you don't have to have 1 million followers anymore to get brands to come to you and be like, yo, let's talk. They're like, no, this man got 10,000 followers, and every time he posts, all 10,000 are responding.
Right.
Versus this person got 1 million followers and they getting 1,000 likes. Where we gonna get more bangs for our buck? Let's collab with these people that's really getting this real organic movement. These people that are tapped in. And I think that's something that like I said, you've always been tapped in. And I appreciate you for not watering down, your position or your principles, for the bag, like people say. Everything that you've always presented has been authentic, man. Everything has always been authentic. It feels real. It feels genuine. R&B Untapped it never felt like a money grab to me, because it could have been a cheesy money grab where it's like, yo, I got all these R&B people, let's go, like the Millennium Tour or something. Like, hey, these people are nostalgic for some good music.
Yeah, I should have. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Nah.
Like, Yo, look, it's $100 a head to get in, 2 bottle minimum.
Facts.
But
Facts. Because
hey,
look, they don't. Because they don't care. They just want to be in the building. They want to. And if you got that tax on it, it makes them feel like they need to be there. But if it's $15, $20,
exactly,
they're gonna be like, oh, I don't know if I need to go there, man. Shit, who's gonna be?
That's wild, man.
You know how that shit
That's
goes.
wild. That shift the mindset, man, is wild. Where it's like, if it ain't expensive, they don't want it. I'm like, I mean, okay, if y'all want to pay for that, cool. But I mean, it's the same as this, and that quality is actually way better.
I mean,
brothers, I always appreciate you, and that internal dilemma, if it ever comes about, where does that foundation come from? Where you just like, you know what, your integrity, your authenticity doesn't change, because I'm pretty sure, not even the thought, just like the opportunity has presented itself a couple of times in your life. I can tell because I know you. I'm pretty sure it's come to you where it's like, yo, here's the bag. You're like, yo, that bag don't really align with what I got going on. So respectfully, I got to decline it.
Yeah, I just stick to my core principles, man. And I also just go back to the passion, and I don't ever try to lose that passion. And then always, like, again, I it sounds so cheesy, but authenticity, man, like, it has to feel authentic, because again, these are passion projects that turn into businesses, man, honestly. So I really can't, if it don't feel good, if it don't feel right to me, I'm not gonna do it. And I'm big on quality of life. Like, I'm huge on that. Like, if I gotta feel good every day I wake up, I gotta feel good about everything that I'm doing. And if not, because if I don't feel that way, you're not going to get the best part of me. I'm not even going to deliver the best version of me. And at the end of the day, man, we got to be operating at 100, you know what I'm saying, all the time, or just giving our best. Even if our best is at 80% that day, we're at 80%, you know what I'm saying? But, like, always give our best, always be, and for me, it's just a feeling. I mean, there has been opportunities. A lot of people wanted me to do a lot more often. A lot, it's just, things came about, but everything happened the way it's supposed to, So yeah, man, appreciate that, because I think that for me, man, my legacy, whenever that, whenever that legacy gets written up, and I want people that I always say, like, yo, he was. Everything was for the community. Everything was for, it was an experience. It was quality, and it felt real. I felt like I was connected to it. You know what I mean? Everything that we produced, man, I always want to evoke some. So yeah, man, I hope that people, more people like yourself realize that. I appreciate that, bro.
Oh, most definitely. And I think that's a good note to start wrapping it up on, because that right there is for me. I think where it, like you said, it's if it don't feel real, and we get caught up in it. Like you said, people wanna flash. That flex life catches up to people, but a lot of that it breeds unhappiness. A lot of that breeds a lot of compromise, personal compromise, that people's like, hey, all right, I don't want to go out tonight, but I gotta go out because I gotta turn. I gotta buy. But it's like, you compromise yourself personally. You're uncomfortable now. So now when you out, you're not your best self. You're not the lively person that people expect you to be. And it happens in all arenas and areas of our life. So I think that's a pertinent message to heed from that, where it's like, don't compromise yourself in nothing. Where it's like, just stay true to your principles. It's to do though. I think that's the big, especially when money is involved. It's kind of hard to do. Where it's like, yo,
but then
I need you to do this like 10 more times.
Then you gonna have people running around here like little Nas X, man. You feel me? Like, just doing anything for the bag. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and losing all principles. You know what I mean?
Either shock value of money, and right now shock value equals money, so it's all the same.
100%. Nah, but not to cut you off, either, bro. Cut you off though, but yeah, man, I just think that yo, like people do a lot of things for money, man. Like they do a lot of things for money, and money ain't everything. You know what I'm saying? Like impact, the most valuable thing that you can get out is just the impact. And like, cause that money come and go, man, and people forget real easily, you know. So, I'm all about impacting for on the long term standpoint, bro. The money gonna come. Like my boy Ja from ABL Basketball League out here in Atlanta, man. He always been telling me this, man. You build and they come. You know what I'm saying? And I'm building, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real about the story. I'm never gonna act like, you know, like I'm rich or I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna tell you my struggles. I'm gonna tell you that I'm going through a fucked up moment in my life right now, and because of this shit. Like, it's a lot of different things, bro. Like, that you have to be cognizant of when you are put in this position of influence, right? And I think the authenticity is really where it cuts through the other fluff. A lot of people are very fluffish, you know what I'm saying? But keeping it real, man, just staying true to yourself, staying true to your principles, man, you will, in the long run, really reap a lot more happiness than just trying to do something for some bread. You feel me?
That's the message. That's the message right there, man. That's the lifestyle. Right there is the lifestyle, man. That's what I want blasted across the airways to everybody. Where it's like, look, you do not have to front for people, man. Live your life, because I always look at it where it's like, all right, I watch a lot of documentaries and I see people in other countries that we looking at like, oh, you living in poverty, but they got the biggest smile on their face. And then I'm looking at people sitting in the VIP section at the club. They paying $300-$400 a bottle. They got 4 or 5 bottles on the table and they clowning. I'm like, what? They just brought you this and this sparklers and music playing and you ain't happy, but this man is laying in the dirt. But he's happy because he got his family. Like, you got to get your priorities and your core values and all that stuff aligned to where it's like you're comfortable with making decisions and not compromising yourself, man. That is the lifestyle, man. And that's wealth. That's wealth. We often talk about it on the podcast where it's like, what is wealth? And we always, kind of come to this consensus where it's like, it really ain't even money based. Because money, my mentor always tells me, they call it spending money for a reason, because you take the SP off and it's ending because it's gone. So, but, then you can have a whole conversation of making your money work for you. But, for the most part, we condition to spend. So when you spend it, it's gone.
It's gone.
And then what you going to do? Now you're struggling to get some more to keep up this, this fluff. Like you say, like you fluffing it up. It's like, oh yeah, you driving a nice car, but where you stay at? All right. But that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother tangent to go on where it's like, yo, but I always appreciate, the people like you that I know personally, where it's like, I know that y'all are, people of integrity, people of values, and people with a message that, I will always align with, to where it's like, it's no doubt when when the word drop, when R&B and tap drop, I'm always all in with it, where it's like, you know what, I'm supporting bro in whatever way I can. Like I was never in Atlanta for R&B and tap, but I'm always going, post, tell people about it, and spread the word and keep it going, because I know, our values and our morals align. And it's not just because we know each other. It's just like, I know you. Where it's like, I know what it's about. Yep. I know he ain't about to move, and I can get behind this movement 100%. So I appreciate you for being one of those stand-up people, out here that's pushing positivity, truly and honestly. You and your business partner, Omar, everybody else that's aligned and involved with y'all brands. I appreciate you all, on behalf of anybody that I can represent, because it's very much needed. It's very much needed. It aligns with what we try to do here at BREADren, where it's like we just want to have conversation with people. Our tagline is business and life unfiltered. Where so we just want to have conversation with people, whether you work corporate, you work entrepreneur, whether you blend in the two, finding that work-life balance and understanding that, it's okay to make the decisions that's right for you, your family, your business, whatever. Never compromise yourself. And I appreciate you for having this conversation and being open and transparent and really pushing that. And I want to stress that I don't have no questions prepared. I never do. And I tell people this every time we record, even with me and DJ and Tom. We don't prep you. We don't send questions and like, here's what we're going to ask. It's a very open and real conversation that just, takes place. And I appreciate the way that you framed your mindset to where people can ingest it and understand, like, yo, it's easy. You can get the life you want. You ask for things, you can get them, and stay true to yourself. You can stay true to yourself and get the things that you want. And I think that's the thing. I think that's the biggest takeaway that I want people to get is you do not have to compromise to get what you want.
Yeah.
But it does require patience, because that bag is coming to you right now, and you want that bag right now. But if you just be patient and don't compromise, give yourself 5 years.
Yeah, man. Because look, man, you know how long I've been grinding. I've been grinding since we've been in undergrad, man. And Foot Locker just came a year ago, and then 4 or 5 years prior to that, man, R&B and Tap came. So it really is about being patient, man. Being patient with your grind, man. That's why I'm like Nips. I'm one of Nips, students, man. Nipsey Hussle, because it really is a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It really is a freaking marathon, man. And you just got to keep building. You got to keep building. Staying, keeping your eye on the vision. Keep imagining what you want. Keep visualizing, and then it will just manifest for you. But you just gotta stay in line as to what you want. You don't steer off or, like you say, compromise yourself because, damn, AJ's getting the bag right now. I need to do what he's doing. Nah, that's what he's doing to get what he needs. Stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? When you stay in your lane,
comparison is a thief of joy. I tell my students every Saturday, man, comparison is a thief of joy. Don't run your race. I tell you, it's weird because, man, that's why I know we're students of the same school of life, lessons, and just, mindsets and morals, where it's like they put blinders on some racing horses for a reason, because that's that horse who can't pay attention. He looking there well, so they put blinders on him.
Yeah.
Only the true race horses don't wear blinders because they can focus without looking on. It's like comparison, Steve Joy. You see somebody who's winning the race, you like, you're looking at them and now you trip up. It's like, no, stop comparing yourself to people, man. I got people, we all got people in places that we like, I'm trying to get there. And it's like, as soon as you start trying to do what they do, it don't pay off the same. Because it's not your path. It's not your
race. Run your race, man.
It's not. Run it. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I appreciate you, dog, for this conversation, man. Where can the people find you on social media, bro?
Man, they can find me at Daz the Great, DASTHE Great. And then they can follow the Aware brand at the Aware brand. And that's the same thing for our website, theawarebrand.com, theawarebrand.com. Same thing on Facebook. Everything's the Aware brand. And R&B and Tap, man, be looking out for that soon, coming up this summer, man. It's gonna be a hot summer. So definitely check us out at RNB Untapped. That's RN as in Nancy, B as in Barry, Untapped. And you can follow us on social media platforms. But yeah, man, appreciate the opportunity, bro. We should do it again, man. I'm always open, man. I always love talking. So, I love sharing the story and I love inspiring, bro. So, man, let me know.
Definitely. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I've told everybody else that's come on here so far. Y'all are the first in this lineup, and I'm building up to doing something bigger than this, which all of you all will be involved. So, definitely keep that in mind. But, make sure I'll put everything in the description as far as following my brother on _Dash the Great on Instagram. Definitely check out the Aware Brand, TheAwareBrand.com. You can follow them on across all social media platforms at the Aware Brand. And if you just happen to be in the Detroit area or in the Washington Heights area, check out the Foot Locker and purchase it in store. That in itself will help push the Aware Brand to newer heights that we can only hope will come sooner rather than later, because it's gonna come. But
oh yeah, man, and in May, man, and May we're gonna be in a few more stores. We're gonna be in 5 more stores in New York City, man, in a couple more months. So definitely, we're gonna update y'all with the locations, man.
look, let me know soon, because I'm like, look, I'm close to the city. Matter of fact, I went to the city the other day, but I'm like, I wasn't in Brooklyn, I was in Manhattan. So when you expanding out, I'm definitely going out to the store. I'm doing that.
Hey, definitely. But you don't gotta wait then, man. You go ahead and copy something online, man. We had a crazy discount, 40% off, man.
I'm already doing it. I'm already doing it. The Aware brand is getting copped. The Aware brand is getting copped tonight. But I definitely still got to go do that experience because I want to do the thing where I'm like, in the store watching them ring it up. I got to do that whole deal. But I'm definitely the brand online, so y'all do the same. That's gonna do it for me on all social media platforms. That's BREADRENPOD. That's bread, like bread, because we always about our bread and we always getting bread. But as we always do with BREADren, this cocktail, I'm gonna raise the glass to my brother Drew Sanders for being a phenomenal human being, staying true to his standards, his morals, and his principles, and being a stand-up guy with full integrity. I love you, brother. Cheers to much more success.
Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man.
No thing. That's going to do it for us here at the BREADren Podcast. Y'all be sure to subscribe to us. Follow us on all social media platforms. Shout out to my co-hosts on the podcast, Destrian Wells and Dr. Ajamu Levin, PhD. Looking out for the next episode, but also look out for more of these cocktail convos. We love you.